back, people. We are back. And look, I've been saying this for 8 years. 8 years. When are you going to listen to me? I'm never lying when I say this. We are back. Your favorite sports podcast, roaming the airwaves, rolling with Ramos, is back. I happen to be the one that holds the last name Ramos. I would like to specifically, as I always do, thank my daddy for that one. Mike Ramos in heaven. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about you. I love you. Episode 100. Episode 100. Episode 150. Episode 150. 8 years, 150 episodes. Did you think that we were going to get past 2? We got past 2. We got past 10. We got past 20. We got past 50. We got past 70. We got past 100, 130, 150. Tristan, damn.
Well, the ones we did have, I would say the first 2 episodes, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be fine. We'll be good. We'll be good. But getting all the way to 150, especially like post pandemic and all that stuff that happened, to be able to still get to this point is definitely major. Because we had to do a big hiatus. Lives were shifting, careers were shifting. There was a lot of different things happening, and so to get back and be able to get to 150 is awesome, because a lot of shows don't get this far. So it's truly a testament to how far we've come, and it's awesome.
We went from you couldn't even see us to you could only hear us, and on
Yep.
Spotify. Then we add an element of the video when we were just recording off my phone in the studio. It wasn't nothing fancy, people. You don't need much to start a podcast. We had a phone on a book and Facebook Live. Now 150 episodes in, all the guests we've had on this show,
That's right.
the time, the preparation that goes into the show, the back and forth we have with wanting to do it, even when we can't do it on certain weeks. Tristan, we're thankful to everybody. I'm thankful to you. 150.
It's
Dun,
awesome.
dun, dun, dun.
It's awesome.
Where's all that at? Like, what's up?
I know. I should have set up like all the fanfare and have all the sparkles and streamers and all that stuff.
We didn't go out to dinner. We didn't even have we had cookies for 100. We gotta get some cookies or something for 150.
You're right.
Let's get right into it, shall we? Monday Night Football. These 2 games on Monday Night Football gave you everything you wanted to have from them.
Crazy.
Buffalo Bills, 14. The Falcons down in the dirty. They take care of them 24-14. Falcons ride Robinson's 170 rushing yards, including an 81-yard touchdown. B. John Robinson. It's crazy how we talked about how running backs high in the draft and blah, 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 and they don't pan out. This man, 19 carries, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 receptions, 68 yards. Drake London, elevate. You get it? I'm corny. Anyways, 10 receptions, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr., unblemished, he went this game. 220 and 32, 250 yards, 1 touchdown. Big plays from Bijan Robinson and Drake London, and a mistake leadership from Penix made the Atlanta Falcons look like a playoff contender. A lack of big offense and more miscues from Josh Allen provided more reason to question the Buffalo Bills. No comeback on this one. From 4-0, Tristan, to 4-2. The Bills' loss added more reasons to doubt their 4-0 start. Those wins came against teams that are now combined 3-21. Baltimore 1-5. The New York Jets 0-6. Miami Dolphins 1-5. And New Orleans 1-5. Robinson matched a career high and gave Atlanta an early 2-touchdown lead with the NFL's longest run of the season. Let's talk about the Falcons first. How do you feel about their performance?
Listen, I think I think the Falcons are a young team that are really starting to figure it out. I was a little nervous with Raheem Morris at first, because I'm one that I just don't. I believe some people can be great coordinators and not actual head coaches. But so I was a little nervous about him, but he seems to have his finger on the pulse with this team. I love the fact that you have Michael Penix Jr. You're gradually letting him grow and learn and lead. Um, but it also helps when you got arguably the probably the best player in football right now in Bijan Robinson as your Mister Do Everything running back. I mean, he literally can do everything. You pass blocks. You can put him out. You can put him out wide on the outside. You can put him in the slot. He can catch. He catches with his hands. He catches like a receiver. He's big and strong. He can run between the tackles. Can run outside the tackles. He right now is probably the most complete running back in football. I'd even put him above Saquon Barkley. He's the most complete football player for position that you could have right now in the NFL. And so it helps when you have that kind of weapon. It makes your offense goes through the running back not by choice. You're in a pretty good spot. You think of a lot of different offenses that had people like that. You think of the Steelers when they had the bees. You had Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Ben Roethlisberger. You talked about Ben and Antonio Brown, but having Le'Veon Bell, another one that could do everything for you, made the offense that much more dangerous. You think of the greatest show on turf. It wouldn't be the greatest show on turf without Marshall Faulk. You think about the days where with the Chargers you had Vincent Jackson, Antonio Gates, but you also had LaDainian Tomlinson in the backfield that could do everything for you. It just when you can do it by choice, not that you have to, but when you can do it by choice, it opens up so many options for you. And the Falcons, I mean, he did it at Texas. To see it transfer into pros is awesome, but we haven't even seen the best of Penix, so that's what makes me overall excited about what's going on.
You thought early on that the Bills have had their transition without Stephon Diggs. He's come back, played them a couple of times, said he had to make a couple of statements. But is it finally time to look at the fact that although they have all these people that can do a job, you're still missing a go-to. You're still missing someone. Every quarterback needs a Mr. I know when I throw it to him, he's going to get it down for me. A Mr. Reliable, a Mr. Comfortable. Are we finally seeing that happen in this Josh Allen era? The Bills get a bye, Tristan. When asked if the timing was good, Allen said, "It's going to eat at me for the next 2 weeks. I mean, a lot of stuff to clean up. We'll put our focus on our next opponent and go from there."
Mm-hmm. Let me say this. In general, this is the most random NFL season I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Normally around this time, teams that are above everyone else, they start to separate. We're going into week 7. This is around the time where teams will start to separate themselves, and we're not seeing that. No one is consistent enough to make a difference to say that's the team that everybody's got to chase. That's not happening. And with the Bills, it was just so uncharacteristic last night. Some of the mistakes I was seeing that was happening, it was just really uncharacteristic. And I think when you get them off their rhythm, and that's probably something people are going to pay attention to. If you can get them off the rhythm, it makes life hard. It's almost like they don't have a contingency plan once they're off schedule. Like if everything's humming, their offensive line, if Josh Allen's working, James Cook is working, I think that's all well and good. But as soon as one of those cogs struggle and they get off schedule, then it seems to be an issue. Or kind of like all hell seems to be breaking loose at that point. And let me say this: as much as I like Keon Coleman, I don't know if he's a legitimate number one. I don't know if it's something he might develop into. But I feel like they need another receiver. He might be like a 1B or like a 2+. Yeah. But I just don't. I haven't seen the number one threat come out of him yet, and that's something that Josh Allen will need. If you want Josh Allen with the full extent of his powers, you got to give him a legit number one.
To your point, everybody's talking Green Bay, and Green Bay is a Super Bowl contender, and they didn't add Micah. Then they've fallen a little bit in the waistline. Then we talk about the Bills. Then the Commanders were supposed to be away. There's no team, and granted, you don't make this all in October, but there's no team that you're saying, oh, you gotta go fight them to get through. The Lions are having their struggles. The Eagles are having their struggles.
By this time there should be an idea. By this time, you kind of shaking everybody else off that you're like, okay, you're going by the wayside, but you can't. I mean, we thought that the Giants were going to be terrible this season. They knocked off the Eagles, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with the Eagles. Like, it's so many dips and inconsistency. I wouldn't even say inconsistency.
Any given Sunday is living up to its mantra.
It really is. I've never seen such parity happen in the league the way this is.
This was not a parody because we don't find this next game a joke, but this is what happened. Chicago Bears 25, Washington Commanders 24. And it's really interesting, Tristan, because we look at this time last year and we talked about the Hail Mary and everything that happened with that. You saw the divide of where the two seasons went for these two teams. The Hail Mary epitomized the season that nobody thought the Commanders was even going to have. And then it dropped the Bears, and they go on and losing 10-game losing streak after that, almost damn near. And it just tears their season. But there won't be a miracle this year. Caleb Williams, 17 of 29, 252 yards, 1 touchdown. The homecoming wasn't pretty, but hey, I guess you'll take an ugly win. DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 181 yards. Shout out to Gonzaga. Caleb Williams, former coach, being in the stands. I thought that was great. I mean, it has to be awesome to look in the stands and see the person that you crafted, and he can come home and do this. The Bears had a double-digit lead on the Commanders and squandered it thanks to a combination of blown coverages, selling for field goals over touchdowns, penalties, and overall sloppy play. This time, however, nearing the 1-year anniversary of the Bears' last trip to Northwest Stadium that ended in devastation on a Hail Mary, Chicago capitalized on its opponent's last-minute mistakes. Jake Moody booted a 38-yard field goal as time expired, this one not ending in heartbreak. The Commanders didn't need another Hail Mary to beat the Chicago Bears, Tristan. Guess what they needed? They just needed to take better care of the ball. And they didn't. And it cost them. Turned the ball over for a third time late in the fourth quarter while clinging to a 24-22 lead. Quarterback Jaden Daniels and running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt botched their exchange near midfield. Merritt fumbled for a second consecutive game. Daniels tossed an interception, and the Bears were able to get pressure on him when Washington used an empty formation. They didn't adjust well to that look, Tristan. How do we feel about this one? Do you want which side? Let's touch the Bears first.
Okay. I think right now what we're seeing, I think Ben Johnson was the correct choice so far. I think his attention to detail, I think his discipline for Caleb, you're starting to see it. You're starting to see Caleb kind of be more controlled. You're starting to see Caleb trust his team, trust his offense, trust his offensive line, trust his receivers more. Where last year it looked like Caleb just kept trying to do hero ball. Yeah. You're not asking Caleb to do that now, and I think he's understanding that he doesn't have to. So I think with Ben Johnson, I think it's a brilliant job. I think this was a good hire so far. I think Ben Johnson's doing a great work with Chicago, and if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you should be excited for what's coming. Be patient. There's still more to build.
Yeah,
there's still more to build with the offense. There's still more to build with the defense. But if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, this is probably I'm looking forward to the future of what this looks like with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson leading the charge.
If I'm being honest, and this is no fandom, this is nothing involved in that. Bears played their game.
Mhm.
But this game was more about how they should have lost this game than about what they actually did. Because where do you put Bill's struggles with his fumbles, Jaden Daniels' adjustment? I, for one, have been watching everything over the past 24 hours. There was a conversation that it was the refs against the Bears, and there was just calls that were outlandish this whole game. You catch the ball hits the ground. Is that an incomplete pass? People are mad that the Commanders even challenged that. The touchdown that was called back by offsides on the offense for the Bears. Prior to that, I thought Sanders still got a call of holding that was a tap. So there was just fouls all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And detrimental character of this fan base, of the fan base that we're a part of. It's
Mm-hmm.
this kind of off with their heads conversation. Jaden's this and Jaden's that now. The defense is this. They're back to calling the team trash. Prior years ago, if this loss goes down the way it goes, you can honestly probably say same old Skins. The conversation this year is the fact that a team that is a better caliber should not have lost this game the way they did.
Let me say this. Shout out to my boy Jarrell. He had said this on Twitter last night or this morning. It was one of the times. But shout out to Jarrell. He said that Commanders fans still suffer from PTSD of the past.
Yes.
And I fully agree. I think because I was watching Twitter, all social media too, and it was like,
so you're seeing what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, you'd have thought we got blown out like 42-10 or something. I'm just like, bro, like literally. Let me tell you, there were 2 points in the game that we lost. It was literally 2. When Quan Martin missed the tackle and DeAndre Swift scored that touchdown, that long touchdown that shouldn't have happened, and then Jaden Daniels fumbling at the end. If Jaden Daniels doesn't fumble, if that is just completed, the game is over.
Yes.
He don't have to score. If they just gotta get the handoff, get that, it was 2 yards, get the first down, the game's done. So to make it seem like the sky is falling, I don't understand how. I didn't really get that. I didn't really understand that. Like, Jaden Daniels ain't played for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He threw that pick in the first quarter. He even said, he tapped his chest, said, "That's on me." I saw what he saw. I can understand it was not a good throw. I think if he had just floated a little bit, just would have arced over. But this is what happens when you ain't played for
the first of the year.
It's your first of the year, and then he still scored 3 touchdowns after that. Yes. So I'm just like, we gotta relax. Just relax. Like they're fine. They'll figure it out. This is now, and maybe it's because my expectations were a little lower, because I kept saying that last year, albeit was so great as a fan to see, as a realist, I'm like, there's a lot of things that went our way last year to get us in that position to go to the NFC Championship that I do not think would go this year. I thought the Bears would be better. I thought the Lions would be better. The Eagles are still there. So there was a lot of things I in my mind, I'm like, let's pump the brakes before we think that this is going to be a regular trip to the conference championship type deal. We're not there yet. So I had already said 10 wins. Now, again, that loss hurt because that was one of the games I counted that was going to be a win for us, because I didn't think the Bears were quite ready just yet. And really, we really should have won the game. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here like the sky is falling. Understand that Jaden Daniels, first of all, Jaden Daniels didn't play for almost a month. He's missing Terry McLaurin. He's missing Noah Brown. I know how some people feel about Noah Brown, but it's experience on the outside of the ball. Okay. Then you're looking at the defensive side of the ball. They're still trying to figure that out. We got a lot of older players. You're still trying to figure out what's going on with the cornerback position. people wanted to kill Lattimore, but Lattimore really didn't have a bad game, but outside of that, taking a bad angle again with that DeAndre Swift thing, taking a bad angle. But other than that, he had a pretty solid game. We have to understand the expectations that we're placing. This team is still. I said it on. I said it. We talked about it on this show. I've talked about it in other platforms. What happened last year was 2-3 years ahead of schedule.
Yes.
It was early. We wasn't expecting that. So I'm like, so we're really where we're supposed to be at. Jaden will be fine. Let him get himself back in rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happens. It's like and now do I like this whole slow start situation? No,
No.
but again, you got to figure out the continuity and all that. And then when Terry comes back in, that's still more continuity that has to be displayed. Now it's fortunate the Eagles lost, the Cowboys had lost, so you're just hoping that we beat the Cowboys on what is that, Sunday or Monday? When we put Sunday, we just hoping that we beat the Cowboys on Sunday because that would be important.
A must-win game. We're
It,
talking
it,
must-win.
it is
The Cowboys.
it is because we should be going in there 4-2. If we weren't going in there 4-2, I really wouldn't be so concerned. But because we're going in 3-3, this right now, the way the NFL is going right now, all these count. Even the conference matchup, the fact that we lost to an NFC team counts. It counts because I think everybody's going to be hovering around 10, 11, 12 wins. Like everybody's going to be around there. So if you're at 8 or 9, there's a chance you're not going to be in the playoffs.
Slow start. And also slow start to games. Nobody wants to be 10, 13 down and you got to pull it all together and do all that. But to the credit of this conversation, no deep threat in Terry McLaurin. Noah Brown is gone. But imagine once things click and Lane has come into his own. McCaffrey is coming to his own. Zach Ertz is still out here balling, ladies and gentlemen. Despite what wasn't there, this game could have still been over. And Bill, if he learns to hold the ball, he made that fumble and came right in. And look what happened after a while. They're continuing to talk to him and feed into him and feed into his confidence. This is not an off with your head situation, Tristan.
No,
I was very proud of that in its own right. To say we have nobody over here, but everybody else played their roles.
Yeah. Now, what I will say for Bill, if I'm a coach, if I'm one of the coaches, when it comes to Bill, I'm in Bill's ear. I'm in Bill's ear, encouraging, giving him confidence, because when you have those fumbles happen like that, then you kind of get those whispers in your ear and you're internally because you're so concerned about holding the ball. It was same thing with Derrick Henry. It was like once the fumbles start trying to creep in, now you're dealing with some inner demons. So if I'm the coaching staff, I'm talking to Bill like, hey, you're still our guy. We trust you. We trust you with the ball in their hands. We trust that you're going to make the play. And last night, and I think it was great. I think it was fantastic in the post conference for Jaden Daniels to immediately be like, that was on me. I didn't give Bill a chance. I fumbled that. I thought that was fantastic because you don't want Bill to think like he already had a fumble in the game. You don't want him to think like, man, I should have. Yeah. When you saw the replay, you saw it was Jaden. It slipped out of his hands. Wet ball, rainy conditions. That missed rain is something serious. So
it was a collective effort on even in loss.
Yeah, I think both teams tried to give the game away. We just did a more
better job of it. Let me ask you this. Speaking of that, and you gave Jaden a compliment. Something else I didn't like watching online. People downing Jaden's character. You looking in the stands and he throws a pick, he goes sits on the sideline. He's looking at the film, but he's laughing still. You down 13. I'm looking at him. He's bopping to the music. Mm-hmm. And people are having an issue with his jovial nature. And if there's anything that the players have appreciated, Debo hasn't been here long, and we're still trying to figure out how to use Debo. He's made it a point to talk about his nature in the locker room. He's made it a point, everyone, to talk about how they respect him. We know well, Tristan, because we do TV. If you panic, you make it worse. Somebody has to be calm. People have to be calm so we can figure it out. How do you feel about people attacking Jaden's personality and how he can be, to some, non-emotional? If he's calm, everybody else can be calm. And guess what they did after that? They scored 3 touchdowns. Like, what do you say to that?
Yeah, even my dad said it today, and I'm like, y'all herald this man for being this way last year, and now all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's a problem. Like, what are we talking about? Let him be like that. You know who else was like that? Eli Manning. They had an issue with that with Eli. Eli was, it was even kill. He wasn't too low, he wasn't too high, he wasn't too low.
Troy
And
Aikman.
Troy Aikman, same way, wasn't too high,
Joe
wasn't too
Buck
low.
pointed it
And they
out
were like,
last night. They
yeah,
didn't
they were
like
like,
Cam Newton either.
yeah, it was like it was like it was a robot. But the thing is, it's not that. It's just those guys when they're kind of like locked in, they're locked in. Like you can't, they don't let their emotions sway them because okay, he looked cool, calm, collected on the sideline. Every time he scored a touchdown, I saw him celebrate. I saw him high energy. Like he's already locked in. He's already in there. I remember Michael Strahan used to say that about I forgot what conversation he had with someone and he talked about it was his Hall of Fame speech. He said that he would go in when he before a game, he'd go in the locker room, he'd go around to all the players and kind of like, hit their shoulder pads, kind of get them hyped up. It's like, all right, let's get going. Let's do this today. I need you today. I need you today. And he said Eli Manning would just be at his locker, quiet, not saying anything. And he said it used to make him nervous when Eli first got there because he didn't understand. So it used to make him nervous. He's like, I need you. He said the time when he went up to Eli to try to do the same thing, I try to hype him up. He said Eli looked up at him and he said he just saw a look in Eli's eyes and he realized, oh, I don't have to do that with this cat. So he said ever since then, he would just go to Eli and just say, have fun today. Have fun today. And that's the same attitude that Jaden has. You don't have to get him up for the game. You don't have to hype him up. I don't need him to be the rah guy. It's not needed for him. He's already locked in the moment he steps on the premises. He's locked in. So some guys just don't, they're not that way. That's why you have, like you said, Troy Aikman. It's why you have the Michael Irvins of the world. It's why you had the Steve Smiths of the world, that time when Cam first got there. Like certain quarterbacks don't need to be the rah guy. It's normally someone else on the team. Donovan McNabb was not the rah guy. That he had Brian Dawkins for that. Certain quarterbacks just don't have to be that way. They're just there to be the steady ship. Let everybody else be that. I'm the steady ship that everybody's going to ride, everybody's going to count on. When you had Peyton Manning had Reggie Wayne, Peyton Manning had Jeff Saturday, Dwight Freeney. He had guys that did that were the hype guys, that were the guys that kind of get everybody juiced up. But you never had to worry about those guys. You never had to worry about Peyton. You never had to worry about Troy Aikman. You never had to worry about Drew Brees. There were certain guys you just knew they were locked in without being that. And I think for this fan base, he's the perfect personality because you see how quickly the sky is falling, according to the fans. You see how quickly they're like this. But if he goes out and scores 4 touchdowns on Sunday and beat the Cowboys, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. All is right in the world. That's how the fan base is. So you need someone like Jaden that's not going to get shaken by that.
Commanders' next schedule includes, and I went all the way to the next 5 games, Tristan. Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, Seattle Seahawks, Detroit Lions in the NFC divisional round matchup of last year, the Miami Dolphins. If you're looking at this, what's the record?
Honestly, could be 2-2, to be quite honest. The Cowboys game could be a loss because We can score on them, but honestly, they'd be able to score on us. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a shootout game. The Chiefs are getting healthy, so that's a scare. They're getting all their horses back. So this is the wrong time to play the Chiefs. Playing the Chiefs should have been like 2 weeks ago. This is the wrong time to play the Chiefs. If there is a team that's going to ascend from this pile of mediocrity right now in the NFL, it's probably going to be the Chiefs. Who are the other two games? You say who are the other three?
Seattle, Detroit, Miami.
Detroit's going to be a hard. Detroit's going to be a hard out. Seattle looks good with Sam Darnold over there. How about that, New York Jets? Sam Darnold looks fantastic over there. So he looks like that money was well spent. Miami, I don't even know if Mike McDaniel is going to be the head coach by the time we get there. So that's probably going to be a win for sure.
Should we let ourselves just be surprised?
If we can get out of, I say 2-2. If we can beat Dallas, Kansas City and Detroit going to be tough. If we could beat Dallas and Miami, I would say 2-2. That would put us at what? 5-5? That put us at 5-5 with what? 7 more games to go. We probably end up being a 8-9 win team, which is what I would probably expect out of this roster until it gets built up.
With expectations come a schedule like this, and everybody another primetime loss, and everybody expects to see something good. This will be interesting. Let's see if that surprises again.
But what's crazy though is that we're down some guys, even our offensive line. Cosme's not back yet. Again, we haven't seen what this looks like with Scary Terry. The silver lining is because Scary Terry's been out, Jeremy Lane has looked great.
Yes.
Luke McCaffrey is finally coming into his own. So this is something, and for me, and maybe it's just because I'm just such a realist.
Yeah.
For me, even if we end up, 8-9 wins and might miss the playoffs, in my mind, I'm encouraged because the players I wanted to see take the next step are taking the next steps. I can live with that because I'm going to trust the front office to make the right moves and make the right decisions. We thought
you can actually trust this front office.
Yeah, like we thought Kinlaw was like overspent, but Kinlaw has been great for us on the defensive line. He's made Daron Payne look like an all-pro this year because he's been garnering attention. Like these are things that I'm looking at. So now we can go into the draft and we can say, okay, maybe we're going to get another receiver. Maybe we're going to get a linebacker, or if there's a pass rusher that we really, really want to have, so we can generate. Like we can plan and build the team to be ready. And then next year will probably be the year where I'm expecting 11, 12 wins, or the year after expecting those 12 wins, 13 wins, because we should be in shape at that point in time to really be contending on a regular basis.
Shout out to Frankie Louvu.
I mean, that was his best
what
game.
What a game he had, and with the line looking how it looks, he can roam. And these are the offenses don't even know where he's coming from.
He wasn't doing that early on. And I think, and listen, for as much as Joe Witt Jr. has been getting dogged, and he's deserved some of the criticism, I give credit because he did not let Frankie Louvu do that in the first few weeks of the season. I was trying to figure out why is Frankie Louvu so absent, but they were trying to make him play a strict assignment, and that's not Frankie Louvu's game. You got to let him freelance out there and feel it because he's very instinctual. Had his best game last night. So those little things, yes, the score. Okay, I'm gonna say this because I know we gotta move forward.
Yeah.
Understand, y'all. Doug Martin whiffed on a tackle, and Lattimore made a bad angle that allowed something that should have been maybe 10, 12-yard gain turn into a 55-yard touchdown. Outside of that play, the defense actually did pretty good.
Blocked the field goal. Like
outside of that one, that's the play that really set the opportunity for them to win.
Not
That
to
was the
mention,
play.
I thought the penalty against San Rastel, we're going to go penalty for penalty. I thought that wasn't, if that doesn't happen, that eliminates a whole first down that gives them that touchdown for that drive. I thought that was,
Exactly. So it was just a lot of things that I saw. Yes, was I disappointed? Yes, but there were
yeah,
just things that I saw where I was like, the season may not be what it was last year, but I can take this. I can
yeah.
take it in and know that the future is bright.
We don't have to live in la la land. We can live realistically and still appreciate this team.
Yes.
Let's move forward. The Patriots 25, the New Orleans Saints 19. Drake Mayo, another Drake. He's elevating too, elevate.
Mhm.
18 and 26, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns, 9 carries, 28 yards on the ground. Kayshon Boutte, 5 receptions, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. The LSU product. He bought 40 tickets, Tristan, for this game as he comes home back to his Louisiana home state. It was amazing coming back home, first time playing in the Superdome, said Boutte. Caught a pivotal 21-yard catch on 3rd and 11 in the final minutes. A little emotional at first. It feels like a full circle moment. Speaking of emotional, I also thought Zacchaeus was a little emotional coming into that game too.
Oh,
You could see it. You could see it.
yeah.
Anyways, coming back to this one, we will never not enjoy and embrace winning in this league, but I do think guys are aware of the fact that it can be better. Patriots coach Mike Vrabel said. We'll talk about the Titans later. To that on the road and be able to end it with the ball offensively in victory. Formation is fun. At 4-2, they're holding on to the top spot. Some would say they're ahead of the Bills. Some would say they're right next to the Bills.
I mean,
Long time coming because we definitely haven't seen it since Tommy. New England, how you feel about them?
if I'm New England, I am ecstatic because it's like, oh man, we might have gotten another one. Because Drake May is balling, and it looks every bit of him worthy of being the third overall pick. This is shaping out low key to being one of the better draft class QBs. I think better than what people might have thought. And really, it's because Bo Nix being that caveat in there that he's doing so well. We kind of felt the top three. We felt that. We felt that Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May were going to be good. And then we were kind of questioning everybody else: Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, and Bo Nix. Okay, so that was the top six, right? We're still wondering about JJ McCarthy. He got hurt. We'll see how that looks over there in Minnesota. We're waiting on that. But Michael Penix Jr. shaping out well. Drake May is balling. Jane Daniels, rookie of the year last year. People want to say a slight sophomore slump. He's still, I mean, he threw his first pick yesterday. He's still playing awesome. So
Still was using his legs last night.
yeah, he looked great.
My boy was sliding. You saw it?
Yeah, right. He looked great. And then Caleb Williams looked like he's turning the corner and figuring it out. This is shaping out to probably, I'm a history buff, so I'm trying to think real carefully. But this is probably shaking out to be one of the better draft classes of QBs. Honestly, maybe since that 83 class, maybe since that Dan Marino class,
Wow.
where you had them all in one cluster. And the reason why I'm saying that, because you can look at the eras in football where you had Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, prime Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers. Then you had the Brett Favre, John Elway, Joe Montana, Dan Marino. You have different eras, but I'm saying to be in one draft class, this might be the bunch because they're all, especially the top three, they're all on the up and up. Like there's the only one I'm like circling, like I gotta watch you is JJ McCarthy, but everybody else is like, oh, you guys could really play. So now going back to what we were saying with the Patriots, yeah, Drake May is balling, and we both said this actually when Mike Vrabel. Now I hate that I felt like Jerome Mayo had a raw deal. And
Yes.
we already know how we feel about black head coaches. We already know how we feel about this.
You only get one turn. You only get one turn.
I thought he had a raw deal. But we said if you had to pick someone when you moved on from Jerome Mayo, you ain't doing bad getting Mike Vrabel.
No.
Okay, Patriot, born and bred, Patriot, won Super Bowls with Patriots. I think he's in the Patriots Ring of Honor, I think. Like, that's the guy. And like I said, we're going to talk about Tennessee a little later, but Mike Vrabel, that Bill Belichick, like he to me operates like a Bill Belichick disciple for real. Like he embodies that kind of personality while still being you could tell he's still a player's coach because he was a player. He understands it. And I think him with Drake May having Josh McDaniels, I think that's very underrated. Again, some people are not meant to be head coaches. Some people are just meant to be great coordinators. I think that's Josh McDaniels. He's one of those. Like every time he was a head coach, it was like, but as a coordinator, he's awesome. And I think him with Drake May developing, I think is great. As they keep getting weapons for Drake May, that left tackle Will Campbell coming from LSU was a great pickup to solidify that offensive line. You get him some more weapons that he can grow with. I mean, Drake May did a throw that I think was like 3-13. And I mean, opposite side threw it on a rope.
Beautiful.
It was impressive.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was impressive. I'm excited. I'm excited for the Patriots to see that because I felt like I thought they were about
girling. This is beautiful.
Well, I just thought they were going to be in an abyss after Tom Brady. I really did. I thought it was going to be like a decade before we see them be relevant.
It's going to be some time on that. Yeah.
But they were fortunate to land Drake May for sure.
Tampa Bay 30, San Francisco 49ers 19. Baker Mayfield, the Bucs are fortunate to have him. See what I did there? 17 of 23, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 carries, 14 yards on the ground. Mayfield's heroics came early in the fourth quarter instead of the final minutes. He threw for 2 touchdowns and had a spectacular scramble to set up the score that sealed the win. Fans serenaded him with MVP chants, and many were still hailing Mayfield as they left the stadium. Some say he even looked like Michael Vick in certain throws. He downplayed it. Bucs getting it done despite missing star receivers Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and running back Bucky Irvin. Lost rookie receiver Emeka Egbuka to a hamstring injury in the second half. The injury riddled 49ers on the other hand, because we ain't seen them. I can't even tell you the last time I seen all the 49ers
healthy.
The injury riddled 49ers lost 4-time All-Pro linebacker Fred Warner to a serious right ankle injury in the first quarter. Warner's ankle appeared to turn sideways after a couple of players fell into him. Coach Kyle Shanahan said Warner's ankle was broken and dislocated and that he will need season-ending surgery. Everyone on the bench came onto the field to see Warner before he left the field with an air cast on his ankle. It's just heartbreaking, Christian McCaffrey said. 49ers already were missing star edge rusher Nick Bosa for the season. All-pro tight end George Kittle and wide receivers Brandon Ayuk and Ricky Pearsall, along with Purdy, who's still nursing a toe, and others. With wideouts, Jawan Jennings played with an ankle sprain and 5 broken ribs. It's heartbreaking for the 49ers. Maybe Christian McCaffrey was saying that for the whole season. How do we feel about the Bucs and Mayfield? MVP, Tristan, they saying. MVP.
Man, he is the MVP right now. You know, especially with what happened, you know, what's going on with Lamar Jackson, what's going on with Josh Allen, the people that you thought would be the MVP. Baker Mayfield, get it in your chest. Get it in your Baker Mayfield is the MVP right now running for the. I want people to understand what's happening. Baker Mayfield is using receivers that would be on the practice squad,
Mm.
and he's 5-1. Like this is so good to me. And why it's so good to me? Because I've always been a Baker fan. Even when people hated Baker, I loved it. I loved the moxie. I loved the chip on the shoulder. I was a fan of it all because I'm like, I don't care what you got to say about this dude. He was a walk on and won a Heisman as a walk on. You got to have some kind of guts, some kind of umption in you to be that kind of player. And so I felt he had a raw deal when he got drafted by Cleveland and how Cleveland did him. Felt that was a raw deal. And then he went to the Rams, had that game where he was spectacular. But, we knew that was a short time because they were going after Matt Stafford. Then he went to Carolina. Carolina had him on scout team defense, like crazy disrespectful. And for him to go to the Buccaneers post Tom Brady, which everyone knows that's an impossible shoe to fill.
Yeah.
Post Tom Brady winning a chip. And he goes to Tampa Bay. And kudos to Todd Bowles. Kudos to that coaching staff that saw something in him and allowing him to be him. Now, did I think he needed to mature a little bit? Sure. Absolutely. He needed to mature a little bit. But once he matured, thank God for his amazing wife and family, because I think him getting married and then having his daughter, it grows you up. Take it from experience. It grows you up. So it to see this happen for him now, he deserves all the praise and accolades that he's getting right now because he earned it. He earned his spots. It wasn't handed to him. He earned every bit. Took a chance. They had him on a 1-year deal, cheap last year, played great. They still didn't even give him a big contract extension. And he took the money anyway to come back again this season, and he's balling. But I promise you this, God forbid a catastrophic cliff dive for the season. Oh, he's going to get some big money this offseason.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid by the Bucks. They're going to lock him in. And he's still young. Like when you think about the journey of Baker, you thinking like he's been in the league forever. No, he's still young. Like there's still time with this. So I'm so excited to see this man. Like you don't have your starting running back. Half your offensive line is not in. You're dealing with practice squad receivers and you're 5-1.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Baker is cooking.
You brought up the Browns. And I have a very interesting stat on the Browns, Tristan.
Yeah.
They are paying 8 quarterbacks this season. Only 3 quarterbacks are still on the team, and only 2 are active. Number one, Shedeur Sanders, $955K. Joe Flacco, $999K. Dylan Gabriel, $1.1 million. Jameis Winston, $2.2 million. The contract that started it all, Tristan, you didn't like this one. Deshaun Watson, $35.9 million. Bailey Zappi, $315K. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, $171K. Kenny Pickett, $8K. You're quiet. That's it.
Y'all drafted Baker number 1. This is the thing. I don't understand with the Haslams. I don't understand. You haven't had a relevant quarterback since Bernie Kosar. You draft Baker number 1. Baker gets your team to the playoffs for the first time in years. And not only that, he gives you a playoff win. And then you say, nope, we don't want him. Let's go get Deshaun Watson. We got a chance to get Deshaun Watson. And here we are, where your starting quarterback is 5'10", look about 5'7" out there. The person that you're paying all this money to, I haven't even seen him in the facility. You trade Joe Flacco in division to the Bengals. You got Shador sitting on the bench for God knows why. And the person that you drafted number one, you're the reason that Baker's in the league. You drafted him number one overall. Is 5-1. It's incredible malpractice. It's incredible malpractice by the Browns to have missed. I mean, it's really, really got to be studied how you missed that many quarterbacks in your tenure as an organization. It really needs to be like there needs to be a 30 for 30 made about that. I really want to know because that's a science to have whiffed on so many quarterbacks. Tim Couch, Brady Quinn, Derek Anderson, Colt McCoy, Johnny Manziel. It's a plethora of quarterbacks that have not panned. And the one guy that made you somewhat relevant, you cast him out. And he's cooking elsewhere. I don't understand. It really needs to be a 30 for 30 about that. It's incredible. It's incredible how the Browns have missed. It's like a black cat around that position for that franchise. I've never seen anything like that. Not even for Washington. And Washington we've had our own.
We had our struggle.
Yeah, but I ain't never seen nothing like that. Not like the Browns.
To not even get. We eventually got one. We don't know when they gonna get one.
But even the ones that didn't pan out, we at least got a couple good seasons out of them. The Browns almost rotate quarterbacks almost every other year. It's incredible. I don't know what to say about that. Like that had to be a show special of talking about that.
Speaking of special and more malpractice, and can we say karmic energy? Because I feel like this show just doing a bunch of this. Baker Mayfield giving the Browns you know what. And now this brings us to the Titans. Mm-hmm. If we keep it a buck, we ass. Mm-hmm. That was Cam Ward. Titans QB on the state of the Titans. Titans have fired head coach Brian Callahan after starting the season 1-5. Callahan, who was hired in January 2024 away from the Cincinnati Bengals after 5 seasons, served as their offensive coordinator. He went 4-19 with Tennessee. The offensive mind was brought in to replace Mike Vrabel. We just talked about what he's doing over there. And developed Tennessee's young quarterback, Will Levis. Instead, Levis took a step backwards behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and the Titans finished the 2024 season with a 3-14 record, which earned them the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. They went and got Cam Ward. There was, again, optimism entering this season with a new quarterback in Cameron Ward, but the Titans did not show progress through 6 weeks, Tristan. Tennessee's offense ranks dead last in yards per game, 232.3, and second worst in points per game, 13.8.
Yep. So Callahan was on the Rams coaching staff, if I remember this correctly, because I remember this was kind of a head scratcher. It was a head scratcher when Mike Vrabel got fired. I thought that was a head scratcher. I'm like, what do you want him to do when you don't have a quarterback that can offset all the work that Derrick Henry's doing? What do you want him to do? I always thought that was weird. But that's neither here nor there. It happened. And then Callahan comes in. Mind you, he did not call plays with the Rams. I forgot what his position was. He was not the offense coordinator. I forgot what his position was with the Rams. But I think they assume Sean McVay tree, which is ultimately from the Shanahan tree, and which is I don't understand how Mike Shanahan is not in the Hall of Fame yet. I don't, because that's all you hear. That's all you hear everywhere. Shanahan, Shanahan, Shanahan. You hear it all over the league. Shanahan, Shanahan, West Coast, Shanahan, West Coast, Shanahan, West Coast. That's all you hear. But that's neither here nor there. I digress. Came from that Sean McVay tree. So, offensive minded coach, right? His father, Bill Callahan, is one of the greatest offensive line coaches in NFL history. One of the greatest. You cannot be the son of one of the greatest offensive line coaches in NFL history, and your offensive line is one of the worst in the league. That's sacrilegious. That's sacrilegious. You drafted Cam Ward number 1 overall, and I'm impressed with Cam Ward, but I didn't think he was NFL ready to start week 1. But you really didn't have any options. But when you look at what's surrounding him, he don't got a lot to work with. I had said a couple weeks ago on the other show, I said he looks faster than the rest of his team. Like he's operating quicker than everybody else around him. That's not good. That your rookie is operating faster than everybody else. That's not ideal. You fired Mike Vrabel because you said you needed a change of a voice or whatever your reason was. You didn't give Mike Vrabel a chance to try to figure this thing out post Derrick Henry era, post, whatever era you want to call for the quarterback room. And you brought in this kid because he was a young guy, and it was way over his head. I didn't like how he talked last year in the press conferences. You have to be, as a head coach, I'm going to say this again. There are some people that are head coaches, and there are some people that are just great coordinators.
Yeah.
Sometimes you luck out and you're fortunate to get one that's a combination of both. But your head coach has to be the adult in the room.
You speak about leader of men all the time.
Leader of men. You have to be the adult in the room. Your quarterback should not be the adult in the room. Your rookie quarterback should not be the adult in the room in that moment. To call out and say, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, that's you, head coach job. That's solely on you. It's the same thing in Miami, which is why Mike McDaniels will probably be the next one fired. You have to be a leader of men. You have to be the adult in the room to hold in the reins. So what is happening is that we're in an era where everything is so rushed, and these QBs are getting rotated with head coaches, different offenses, different offense coordinators, different people talking in the ear. And so now what you're hoping with Cam Ward is that he doesn't run into a situation where he's not developing well because you keep having a revolving door of who his head coach is going to be. This is what made Trevor Lawrence development slow. This is what made Sam Darnold and them look slow. We'll get to
more of that later.
Right. So it's like these are the things that are happening. So if I'm Tennessee, you need to really make a hard decision. Is Cam Ward the guy? Okay, if he's the guy, we need to get an adult in the room. Don't try and get no hot shot coordinator. Don't try and do none of that foolishness. Get an adult in the room. One of the names I saw that was whispering out there was Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy would be great to go to a place like Tennessee. I don't think he had any business going to Dallas. I think that was way too much. But go to Tennessee, a little smaller market. You know how to deal with these kind of gunslinger type of QBs. You've been around it with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff. You've seen it before. So I feel like that would be a great spot for Mike McCarthy. Not too much weight put on his shoulders. Like I said, because it's a smaller market. It's Tennessee. Smaller market. It's not the bright lights of Dallas and all that stuff. And you can take your time and build the program. I think that would be a great pickup. But you need a veteran coach. You need an adult in the room. I also feel like they fired him this week to spare the butt kicking that they're going to get from the Patriots this weekend, with that being Mike Vrabel's first time returning to Tennessee since him being fired. So that I know they were like, we don't even want that storm.
You want to talk about chip on your shoulder? Look at me now.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Speaking of that, you don't have to comment on this. I'm just going to read this to you. Interim coach Mike McCoy spoke to the media for the first time today, if you saw that, and outlined his plan for Cam. Through 6 games, Ward is tied for the second most turnovers in the league with 8. That's one thing we have to clean up. You see what happened the other day in the game where there was some drifting and then the ball security in the pocket. Things like that we got to clean up, and that's our job as coaches. Before coming to the Titans, McCoy was quarterback's coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars from 2022 to 2024. Plans to use positive reinforcement. It's going to be the same thing every week. You're getting better. That's what I kept on telling Trevor. And that's what I'm going to tell Cam. Speaking of different quarterbacks and rookie quarterbacks that are losing their coaches, the last 4 quarterbacks that were picked number 1 overall, Tristan, had a head coach fired during their rookie season. Number 1 was Urban Meyer, fired after 13 games, 2-11 record, 2022. His rookie was quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Frank Reich was fired after 11 games, 1-10 record, 2023. His quarterback was Bryce Young. Matt Eberflus fired after 12 games, 4-8 record, 2024. Caleb Williams was his rookie quarterback. Brian Callahan, we know now, fired after 6 games, 1-5 record, 2025. Cam Ward, his rookie quarterback. You spoke a little bit earlier about the maturation process of these rookie quarterbacks. We talk about this all the time and how everybody's they're looking for Jaden Daniels. They're looking for guys like those type of caliber guys to be generational, just come in and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk, Tristan, all the time about missing the opportunity to be able to let someone sit. We're seeing what's happening with Richardson over there in the Colts. The opportunity to let these guys develop, and then you fire the coach that they came into. They already wasn't getting it anyway, and then they got to restructure it again. I guess the best thing that happened for Caleb was Mike Vrabel, because look at things of what's going on. I mean, Ben Johnson. Look at things of what's going on there. How does what I just told you continue that conversation of maturation in this league for these quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks are not being developed properly from college, even high school. The transfer portal has really done damage with the development of these QBs. And the reason why I say that is, one is mental toughness. All these kids that are getting these NIL deals just coming out of high school, they all want to start. They all want to be a starter. You understand that the Florida Gators had Tim Tebow as a starter and Cam Newton was his backup? Cam Newton was Tim Tebow's backup. Do we understand that Michigan had Tom Brady was the 4th string quarterback in Michigan? Vince Young had to sit. Matt Leinart had to sit at a point in time. Like there is something to sit, not just sitting, but fighting to earn the spot, to get the spot. Not that you got the biggest NIL deal. Not that you go to the transfer portal and you go to a program that doesn't really develop well, but they need you because as soon as you step on their campus, you're the best player on the team. So you're hearing these guys going to these random schools that you ain't never heard of before because they're guaranteed to start day one and play. But you're not developing, you're not growing. And then you're going into the league, and the league, because, and I said this before too, we've been so spoiled. It really started with Cam Newton, to be quite honest. That's why when people be talking about Cam, be trying to trash Cam's career, I don't know how. It really started because of Cam. Cam came in to Carolina His first game, he threw for over 400 yards.
Yeah.
First game. We got spoiled when RG3 came in, won Rookie of the Year, because RG3 was so amazing of how he played. We got spoiled on that. We got spoiled with Patrick Mahomes getting the start in his second season, throwing 50 touchdown passes in his first year of actually starting in the NFL. We got spoiled with these guys that come out the gate and they're firing on all cylinders. But then it doesn't happen quite as often as we think it does. It does not. Peyton Manning came into the league his rookie year. He started right away. He threw 20-something interceptions.
Yeah.
Andrew Luck did the same thing. Brett Favre didn't start when he came into the league. John Elway threw a bunch of interceptions when he came into the league and was starting. Joe Montana didn't start flourishing till his third season. Steve Young had to sit behind Joe Montana. Like these are things where we have forgotten how hard it is to play quarterback. It's more than just having a big arm, running fast, being big and strong and all that stuff. You gotta mentally have it up here. You gotta have some toughness. That's why Baker's flourishing, because Baker had to earn it every step. He was never heralded as anything. Baker had to earn every step to get to where he was at. You have to have some kind of mental toughness and fortitude. You have to have some obsession with learning. I wouldn't say I coined this phrase, but I've said this phrase a million times. You have to respect the art of playing quarterback.
Yeah.
That goes beyond your talent. It goes beyond your talent. How much are you studying film? How much are you studying defensive assignments? How much are you studying tendencies of your next opponent? Are you studying when you're looking at a defense? Are you studying how this corner operates to a slant route or a go route? Do you understand their positioning on the field? If they have a hitch on their back foot, and they're backpedaling, do you know how fast they can break on the ball where you can time it and figure out what's going on? Do you understand their Mike linebacker and what he might see? How does he anticipate what you're looking at? Do you pay attention to these things? Do you understand cover two shell from the and then understanding quarters? Do you understand man coverage? Do you understand how they disguise something that looks like a zero blitz and then they break out into a cover three shell? Do you understand those tendencies? Those are real live details that you have to pay attention to that. Excuse me. You have to pay attention to that, and it's all about clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking, and it's hours and it's hours and it's hours, and then it's obsession. You know what's something that I used to hear a bunch of these guys that really studied that they did back in the day when they made their big money? You know, it's one of the things I used to hear all the time that someone would do.
What?
Would build a film room in their house. You don't hear that anymore. You don't hear nobody doing that. Build a film room in their home and just hours.
You know what I also think it is? I think it comes on two spectrums. You have a guy like Jaden Daniels coming to the league, and it wasn't let's make Jaden understand what we got going on. We're going to understand him first, because we understand him first. We're going to know what he does best, and we can tailor the offense to that. So then as time progresses, we can just add stuff to it. When you look at his time from LSU to the Commanders, it was no difference except the fact that they tailored it to what his strengths were. Now we're seeing his maturity in his second year, but we're also seeing him continue to do what he does best while getting added to and fighting defenses now.
But you said something
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, I thought go ahead.
Then too, you can respect the guy like Jordan Love because he sat.
He sat.
And will tell you he's happy he did
it. Yes. There's a balance. You want to create your offense. Like, teams don't invest properly in these guys, and that's why a lot of them fall to the wayside. if I'm drafting 1, 2, 3 in the draft, and so I already know my team was terrible. We had a horrible season. This is why we're drafting in the top 3. Okay. And if my number one priority is getting a quarterback, that means my entire investment is to make him successful.
Yeah.
That means I got to see his strengths and weaknesses from college, and then I got to figure out how to mold that into my team. That means free agency, and I'm picking because that's the guy I want, especially if I'm sitting at number 1. If I'm sitting at number 1, I've already made up in my mind from January that of who I'm drafting. I'll even give you till March. You've already made up in your mind, February, March, who you're drafting, number 1 overall. As a quarterback, all your decisions of what you're doing is tailoring to that. That's what I loved about the Commanders. They already knew they wanted Jaden Daniels. So who they say? Oh, give me Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator. Bring him over. Oh, we need to get some offensive linemen. Let's bring that in. We need to get another tight end. So let's get in Zach Ertz. Let's bring him in because he was friendly with his tight ends when he was at LSU. All these moves, these different moves were happening because they knew they were getting Jaden Daniels. And they're like, let's put him in the best position for him to succeed right away. A lot of these franchises, I feel like they're like, let's go take this guy number 1 because he was the best player. We'll take him number 1. They put him onto the team and they say, okay, it's your time to now save us.
They get distracted by the big penny, but don't know how to spend it well. The shiny penny, but don't know how to spend it well.
You know me, Mikkel. You know what I'm about to say. The most recent malpractice of it was the Colts.
Yeah.
He played 15 games in college. You drafted him number 3 overall, and then you expected him to start his rookie season?
Yeah.
With 15, and it wasn't even like he was like lights out with the 15. He wasn't. He was just a freakish specimen. He still is, but he doesn't know how to play the position. There's an art to it. That's what I used to say all the time. You don't have to be the greatest athlete in the world to play that position because it's a lot. It deals with a lot of it up here. But again, we've gotten so spoiled, and it bothers me because there's actually a lot more bad quarterback play that we're seeing than we've ever seen before.
Well, he spoke about his mental health as well.
Exactly. Like
as a quarterback, you can't say that you were tired. You can't say that.
There's so much that goes into that position, and so you have to if you're going to pick a quarterback that high, you have to go all in. This is a full investment. You got 4 years, that rookie contract. You got 4 years to do this. GMs and owners, you got to give the coach the full 4 years to invest in this human and figure out if this is going to be the guy. If it's not, then we go forward and we figure out something else. But when you say halfway, we're barely halfway into Cam Ward's rookie year. You already fired his coach. You can't operate and think that's going to be successful. Blaine Gabbert, I was listening to the Pat McAfee show. I had no idea it was this bad. I knew it was bad for him. Blaine Gabbert, in his 8 years of when he was a starter, had 4 head coaches and 6 offensive coordinators. Yeah. What do you expect him to be with that?
You learn a different chapter each year. Basically, I can't contain anything. You just basically told me unlearn this, learn this. I do this wrong. It's like being taught something. You see me doing it wrong, tell me, but you can't untell me because I done learned it this way. Because somebody else, 3 people teach you something the same way, 3 different ways, the same thing.
Yes,
especially in communications. I remember learning robo. I would learn one thing somebody else taught me, and they'd be like, "No, you got to do this." But I'm like, "He told me do it this way." In closing, I think it's. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go.
I was just going to say in closing, and if you can attest to this, it's the maturation process of sports. We've forgotten the harrowing tale of what it means to come from the bottom. Kobe and Shaq weren't Kobe and Shaq from the beginning. Kobe was shooting air balls.
And we'll
tell you about them. but you will never take away them 5 rings. But we can see him go from that to that.
The development. Yep. The
And we
development.
forget that story.
And we're seeing both sides of the coin, because we're seeing these young ones that are struggling, but then you see the ones that struggle until they found sustainability. Sam Darnold was cast away.
Mhm.
Sam Darnold had an all-pro season last season with the Vikings, and he's on the verge of having another all-pro season with the Seahawks. But he needed time. He needed a minute to get himself together. Baker Mayfield is another testament to that. They just needed time to really get themselves situated and fully invested in. You had a team that said, I'm investing in you to do well. I believe that you can do well. And now you see these guys in their second acts doing much better than where they were previous.
I think it starts with the leadership and helping articulate that for the guys, and then what we're expecting out of the guys. We're expecting this. Are we getting that? Are we not getting that? We have guys showing up to player-only meetings late. Guys not showing up to player-only meetings. There's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? So it's a lot of things of that nature that we got to get cleaned up. And it starts with the little things like that. That was Tua Tagovailoa. I've never heard him say this much. Those comments, Tristan, were quickly focused in on by former players who called him out for seemingly absolving himself as QB1 of any accountability. You talking about player-only meetings. What you doing at these player-only meetings? You the quarterback. You a player. Where's your leadership?
He still sound like that. He still sound like he wasn't holding himself accountable.
Only going as far as saying he's contributed with turnovers during this poor opening stretch of games. Only thing I have to say to this is Tua. If we're talking about quarterbacks, Tristan, I don't think this is the way, if you're showing young quarterbacks when things go wrong, of how to turn on the people in the locker room that you gonna need. Tua, we've been telling you to retire. People have been telling you that it was over. That you were, what did you say, Tristan? He's one concussion, one hit away because his body couldn't take the other ones. That we don't even know how you're going to be in the future. We don't even know how you're going to be as a person anymore. Mm-hmm. You decided that you wanted to keep playing football. Mike McDaniels and them men stood behind you as their quarterback and let you come back. Said that this is our quarterback and Tua can continue to do this and he's not going to let this get back to him and get the best of him. Everybody told you to retire and you stood up there and you said that to these men. You're okay.
Preach it, Miguel. Preach it, because I'm with you. I'm with you. I didn't understand that. You ain't even playing that good to talk like that, bro. You're not playing that good to talk like that, bro. That if the situation was happening on the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes stood on that podium and talk like that, we'd be like, okay, Patrick, we hear you. Why? Because Patrick is a champion. Multi-champion, multi-MVP. If Lamar Jackson go up there and be like, bro, we trash right now. We need to get this together. We need to Who gonna say something? It's Lamar Jackson.
And those guys won't do that. They've taken heat for other people. Mike Andrews, fumble. Lamar, that's not it.
That's not it. There were a lot of plays. Says it perfectly. There were a lot of plays that cost us the game. That didn't cost us the game. Mark Andrews is the reason why we're here. That's how you lead. And that's why I said Mike McDaniels is going to get fired. Not because what Tua is saying is correct. It's because Tua feels that he has the liberty to do it. That means you don't have control of your locker room. You're not a leader of men. Because you wouldn't dare, no player, let alone the quarterback, would dare get up there like that unless they wanted to be traded. Point blank. You either want to be released or you want to be traded. But you being the quarterback, the quote-unquote franchise, because they paid you. You got your money. So the franchise QB to talk like that, and you not even playing well? No.
Wow.
No.
The audacity
The audacity.
the audacity,
If
there's so many words.
If I'm, and I know it won't happen because they're professionals, they're not going to do it intentionally. But if I'm a teammate of Tua, especially on that offensive side of the ball, you remember that movie Any Given Sunday with Jamie Foxx and all them cats?
Let you get rocked. I'm moving out the way.
You get smacked. You getting smacked. Because since you feel you're the only one that's doing what you're supposed to be doing, all right, go do it. Go figure it out. You getting smacked. You getting smacked. That it don't make no sense for you to talk like that. You're not playing well enough to talk like that. You yourself, the quarterback, is not playing well enough.
Not even playing well. When have you played this long? You've been in
we still scared of you getting hit. Right. We still get scared of you getting hit.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that was unbelievable. I thought it was unbelievable.
Call it CTE because we ain't gonna see that.
And
that's not something you joke about, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, I feel bad for Mike McDaniels because he's going to get fired. It's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when.
Yeah,
he's going to get fired.
His tenure lasted the unorthodoxly, but just the time is up for it.
He's someone that needs to go back and be someone's coordinator, be an assistant coach, and sit there for a few years and learn. Remember Raheem Morris? People forget. He was the head coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was very emotional, temperamental, didn't know how to talk to his players, and it was very toxic. He had to step away, was a coordinator for a long, long, long time, won a Super Bowl with the Rams, and now he's in Atlanta, and he looks like he's doing what he's supposed to do. Some people just need to, they put their foot in the fire, they realized it was too hot, come back out, regroup, heal, learn, and then you'll get another shot, maybe another 10 years, because I didn't realize it was like 20 years ago that Raheem Morris was a head coach. So, maybe another 10, 20 years. I mean, Mike Daniels young. 10, 20 years, you can wait and get another opportunity.
Last on our list, Tristan, this takes us to college football with Tristan. Quarterback Drew Allar, leg injury against Northwestern. It was not only season-ending, but career-ending for his time at Penn State. He's played more than 4 games all 4 years. It was too late to medical redshirt him for the year in 6 games. Penn State fires coach James Franklin, and as a result, $56 million to do so. The second largest buyout in college football history.
Ain't a bad way to go out, man. $50 million.
You were one game away from the bowl.
Hey, listen, if I gotta get fired, if I gotta get fired and I get $50 million, hey, what's that Drewski meme? But in all seriousness, I feel for Drew because I don't know what his draft stock going to look like. This was a guy that was potentially going to be a top 10 pick, and that draft stock has plummeted. But none of the QBs that I thought were going to be great this year are having good seasons. None of them. They're all struggling. Except for LSU's QB. He's doing okay, but he's not even exploding like I thought he would be. James Franklin needed to go, and now I'm not gonna bash him because I'm gonna give him credit. You had to go into a program post Joe Paterno with all the scandal and all the mess that was with that, and you had to take on that program. So you had to deal with the suspensions. They near had the death penalty basically on that program. So you didn't have an advantage going into it. But you also, when stuff kind of cleared up and give you an opportunity to make a difference in some stuff, you didn't take advantage of that either. Your recruiting wasn't that great. There's a lot of stuff that was missed. So I hate to see anyone get fired, but it was in the cards. You go from number 2 in the country to not even on the ranking in a matter of 5 weeks. You got to go. I'm interested in who they're going to hire, but it was his time to go. And again, $50 million. Bow gracefully, man. Take your family on a vacation to an island where they can chill out, drink some mojitos, have a cigar. 50 million? Yeah, I ain't upset. I'm comfy.
Well, as comfortable as I am, and I can do this with you all night, that's 150, ladies and gentlemen. 150.
That's
episode. Hopefully, I'll catch you at Union Market one of these days. We got some chicken and waffles. You know why? I'm not gonna say with my business, but we can figure out a way to celebrate this.
No, definitely. Well, we'll talk about it off air.
We got some stuff to talk about.
I thought about it.
Good show.
Absolutely. I'm excited. Listen.
It's all him, America. It's all him.
It's not. It's not. It's her name. Like her name's on the logo.
but he is with me. and I'm a ride for him, But stick beside him.
I appreciate
it. Stick beside him. Now, you already cheating on me, but I'm going to let you do that because the other show is nice. And that's a good show.
Thank
you. But, I'm going to let you, I'm going to turn a blind eye. I'm going to be one of them women for this case.
You're still my first. You're still my first. I still love
America, I'm going to tell you like I tell you all the time. I'm never lying, and I'm going to say it every week. 151. Well, if 151 was like Morgan's home, shout out to Morgan. What a homecoming that was.
Shout out to Morgan.
Shout out to Morgan State. 151's coming soon. We'll be back. I'm Mikkel. Always like Kevin McHale. America. Good night. Peace.
Peace.